How's it going, ladies and Bruce's? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Abyss of the Sacrifice. It is time for us to jump into Asana's next chapter thing here, Guardian Angel. So let's see what that holds in store for us. This is the only one we're going to do for this episode. Apologies if it ends up being a short episode, but these fuckers are getting long. And I just got demonetized. Worth it though. Open up! Open this door! Every few hours, Asana started to scream. She tried pushing and pulling at the door, but it wouldn't budge. This made sense since it was locked from the outside. Right now, Asana was confined to her room. I'm not okay with this. Why do I have to be locked up for a whole day, like some sort of criminal? According to Chloe, Asana might be infected with a virus. The symptoms of that virus was anger. She does seem pretty angry. There's a pretty high chance that you've been infected. After all, this virus's symptoms are anger and violence. Stupid Chloe, she whispered irritably. What a bunch of baloney. I bet Chloe made the whole thing up. Asana had been suspicious of Chloe's story from the start. She could always sense the fishiness in Chloe's tone, and she was sure the other girls did as well. Yet Olga and Miki didn't oppose Chloe's idea to confine them. In fact, they practically allowed Chloe to lock them up willingly. This left Asana at a disadvantage. Why does everyone do whatever Chloe says? Asana hit the locked door in a burst of anger. Although I don't like Chloe, I don't like Asana even more. Then she let out a big sigh. Chloe said anger was a symptom of the virus, but I feel anger all the time. She realized that she was always angry. I have so much anger built up inside that I could explode at any minute. After all, the world has never worked in my favor. Oh, diddums. Another heavy sigh escaped her lips. Then she fell deep into thought. Now that I think about it, Jika did well. She was the only one who escaped Chloe's lockdown. It's annoying, actually. She's usually the slowest of us all. But this annoyance wasn't anything new. She always felt it. Whenever she saw Jika, a heaviness weighed on her heart. There are hundreds of reasons for me to feel this way. Everything Jika says is naive and thoughtless. She always just goes with the flow as if she can't think for herself. And she clings to people like a fearful small animal. My annoyance at her makes complete sense, but that isn't all. Asana thought to herself, Jika scared her. She reminded me of that girl, that classmate who always annoyed me, that naive, defenseless girl with such little self-awareness. The one who used to bully you, mean? Because you're a big twat. Sir? After school, a voice called out in front of the supposedly empty classroom. The door opened. What are you doing? Come in. Yes, sir. The door clicked shut again and the two pairs of footsteps approached. One pair was distinct and fast-paced. The other shuffled uncertainly across the floor. No one will find us here. Now stand over there. But, what is it? I think maybe... Are you going to tell me to stop? Alright, so I'm allowed to circulate that photo of you all over the internet then? No. You wouldn't like that, would you? If not, you would just have to do what I say. Then came the sound of a desk scraping across the floor and some rustling of clothes. The girl started to cry. I'd stop there if I were you. Asana rose to her feet, and the man spun around in surprise. He was a middle-aged, balding teacher with a look of surprise on his face. The weeping girl at his side had eyes like saucers. Asana had seen her before. They were probably classmates. But they'd never spoken. She was the unimpressive type that Asana hated the most. Who are you? What are you doing here? The frozen teacher finally raised his voice. Excuse me, but I was here first. I was just taking a nice nap when you two decided to barge in. Damn it. The teacher cried out as he ran out of the room. Perverted old man. When Asana glanced at the girl, she quickly bowed her head in thanks. Thank you. Hey. Huh? If you don't like what he's doing, you should tell him so. The girl stared at her feet. She looked like a small child being reprimanded. What's that he was saying about a photo? The girl's face clouded over and she didn't move. Well, I have a pretty good idea even without her saying anything. Asana sighed. But it doesn't concern me. Can you leave now? Huh? I said I was taking a nap, and I'm still tired. Oh, right. She nodded vaguely and expressed her thanks. Thank you so much, Asana, for saving me, that is. I wasn't trying to save... Wait, how do you know my name? We're in the same class. The girl gave her a strange look. But Asana... She never remembered the names of any plain, unremarkable classmates. What's your name? At the same time, she didn't have the good manners to ask. The girl's eyes widened, and her cheeks grew redder by the minute. After a few seconds, she whispered, "You really asked for my name?" "What?" Asuna frowned suspiciously. The girl shyly looked down and answered in a small voice, "I'm Honoka." Huh. She thought for a minute, but couldn't recall hearing that name. If her memory could be trusted, this meant that Asuna never had any interest in this girl from the beginning. Now was no different. In fact, all of her interest in this girl had completely disappeared. "Well, I'll see you later, Honoka. Bye-bye." "Oh, okay." She looked like she wanted to say something. And when she saw Asuna lose interest in her, she slowly started to walk away. But she froze at the door. "What is it?" Honoka turned back around with a pale face. "It won't open." "What? Did that teacher lock us in from the outside?" She ran to the door. "I can't believe this. That man is the worst." "Oh my god, we're trying to escape a classroom?" "There's a PC here." "So there is. There's a PC here. And a PC there. There's PCs everywhere. What do we got? We got a safe. These freaking safes are everywhere. Random numbers didn't work? That's crazy. There are documents on the shelf. But I totally thought random numbers would totally work. What is this? The door won't open until it's unlocked. That scumbag teacher. What a shithead. What have we got over here then? Oh no. It's a class schedule. What was the date today again? The 14th of July. A Friday. So it's probably math. What else is there? Blackboard has a memo posted onto it. It has many memos posted onto it, to be fair. The student's locker number 4's... It's student number 4's locker. Oh my god, that was hard. That was unnecessarily hard. We got a bin. Obtained a memo. Give us a look at it then. Something's written on the memo. 628. Distribute home ec handouts. 2835. Password changes by lesson. What is 2835 then? Password changes by lesson. 2835. How do I open her locker? I don't have her ID. Even though it's her fucking card. It's a card reader. Asuna's ID card is needed. Oh, search for Asuna's card. Where'd I put it? Here it is. I think the code was... What was it? 01 something. Frick. Oh, there it says. 0102. Alright, what do we got? Here's the class code chart. Oh, that's the thing I got when I enrolled back in September. Guess I left it in my locker. Ah, so it's July. Well, there's nothing else to do with a locker than stick textbooks in it. Sure. That's how we figure it out. Hang on, what about this one? It's Honoka's locker. Okay, can we get her to... Honoka's ID is needed to open it. Come on. Hey, where's your card? Oh, sure, just a second. What's the code? Oh, 2040. Okay. Honoka seems nice. And Asuna seems like a fuckwit. I really can't stand her, right? It's unreal. Alright, what do we got? Obtain class registry. So what's on that? It's the class registry. It has seat numbers and names written on it. The class president's student number is 13. Well, there you go. She's number 13. And I've got her code. I mean, not her code, her card, but I don't know her number. Oh my god, I get it. So the class president's number will be 1326. So the code is their locker number plus a double of their locker number. So Arsana's is 0102 and fucking Haneka's was 2040. So this one's 1326. Cool. Obtain a memo. What else we got? Obtain envelope. We're just robbing this girl's locker now. All good. Who gives a shit? Open envelope. There was a key inside the envelope. Ooh. And what does this say? Something's written in the memo. 6:15. Collect information handouts. Same password after class. Okay. Oh, this is the 15th. So it should be the same. That should be the code, 1569. Because it's the 15th right now. No, it's the 14th. Cock. So if the 28th is 2835. Oh, 28. 35. And then the 15th is 1560. So the day 14 is the first two numbers. So it's 14. And then and today is the 14th. And it's a Friday. Which means it has to be before one of these. Which makes it PE. That's how I see it. So it's a 6 at the end. I don't know what the third digit is though. Although you could just cycle through them. Is it the month? No, this one's 2835. So that's not the month. But this one is the month, 6. I hope it's right. Otherwise we'll just cycle through the fucking numbers. So I got 1. That she knew the code to open this locker. There's something really suspicious about that memo. 1, 4, 6, 6. Enter. 1, 4, 6, 2. The electronic lock opened. Thank Christ. 1, 4, 6, 2. I don't know how that works, but it worked. Sweet, it opened. Wow, Asuna. Obtain the teacher ID. Do we have to have a code for that too? Because that would piss me right off. Unlock the door. Once they stepped out into the hallway, Haneka gazed up at Asuna with admiration. What is it? That was amazing. You can do everything, Asuna. For some reason, Haneka's gaze felt annoying. Asuna spoke coldly. See ya. She turned around and was about to walk away when... Wait! What? Haneka suddenly grabbed Asuna's hand. Wait, don't go. Please, Asuna. What the... She didn't want to get involved in something troublesome. But when she tried to shake Haneka off, the girl was so desperate. What do you think I should do? What are you talking about? That teacher is just going to do the same thing again. Oh, come on. Asuna irritably and somewhat violently shook Haneka off. I told you, just say you don't like it, loudly and clearly. Haneka's expression clouded over again and she looked at her feet. It's probably that uncertainty that makes her a vulnerable target. When she had these insensitive thoughts, as pain ran through her heart, that feeling of not knowing what to do. She'd felt that way more times than she could handle. Maybe she could at least give some advice. As if sensing Asuna's change of heart, Haneka peered up at her. Ugh, this is so annoying. Asuna gave up. She irritably rumpled her own hair before facing Haneka. Then with her next words, she completely got herself involved. We're gonna get it back. Huh? Haneka looked confused. Get what back? Are you stupid or something? Asuna got even more annoyed. She pointed straight at her slow classmate. Your photo data, of course. Do you have any ideas where it might be? The two girls found their way to the teacher's lab. Help me look. Alright, here we go again. That last puzzle took forever. Actually, no, it took 5 ever. What happened? Sorry, I think I touched the power switch on the wall. I'll turn it back. Hold on. Hang on a second. That red light, that's a security system sensor. Huh? What should we do, Asuna? We'll have to search the place without touching that sensor. Let's just turn on the lights first. Because we can't look in here then. The lid is shut. Doesn't seem like it can be opened manually. There's a switch, but it won't move without power. The infrared beam seems like it'll move. Oh my god. So what do we do now? What are you standing around for? We're getting out of here. Failed. So if my mouse is over it when it goes off, it sets everything off, right? Is that what you're telling me? That's how it seems. Seems bullshitty to me. But, you know, whatever. Alright, it moved. Good. Take this apart. Pull the handle. Turn the lights off again. Alright, turn the lights back on. Okay. Wait for it. Okay, we are good. The battery is in once again. Now we're just waiting. Waiting for that battery to charge. Oh, does the lever need to be down? Is that it? Now let's move. We need to put this down. Put the lid back on. We need to wait for it to pass by so that we can turn it back on again, I guess. There's gonna be a lot of waiting. It's gonna be a whole lot of waiting. Wait for it. Go. Oh, it's green. It's green, it's green. Now we need to close it. You put this down. Need to hide all this away so we don't get in trouble. And now we need to wait. Okay? I think we got it. This thing's a bastard. I hate it. Alright, turn the lights back on. New battery. Don't mess me up now. Yay, Asuna, the memory card came out. Alright, let's get out of here quick. That was a bitch. Thank you, Asuna. Honoka spoke. There was practically a look of worship in her eyes. They filled with tears and of infatuation. Asuna responded awkwardly. It's not like I was trying to help you. I just didn't like that that teacher guy. But Honoka repeated her thanks again. Thank you, Asuna. After that day, Honoka became involved with Asuna's followers. In a group of bright and flashy people, a plain girl like Honoka stood out. Of course, Asuna and her followers weren't exactly welcoming of Honoka, but over time one of them discovered how amusingly useful Honoka could be. They're so evil. She never talked back. Although she might hesitate at first, she would do anything she was told, no matter what it was. In fact, she responded happily to the slightest things Asuna said. Thank you, Asuna. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for noticing my existence. Notice me, senpai. To Asuna, her classmates quickly became unpleasant. What's wrong with her? It's like she has no will of her own. It's so annoying. After a while, Asuna only spoke to Honoka with hurtful teasing or painful sarcasm, but this didn't chase Honoka away. It only made her cling to Asuna more. Don't abandon me, Asuna. I'll do anything. I'll do anything you say. So annoying. She disgusts me. Asuna, that teacher has started saying mean things to me again. Please help me, Asuna. Don't abandon me, Asuna. What a pain, so annoying. And so one day I finally said what was on my mind. You like me, right? And you'll do anything I say? Then how about you? Disappear. Of course, I didn't really want her to disappear from the earth. I didn't want things to turn out like they did. But in the end, Honoka died. Is it because I told her to disappear? Is it because I didn't help her? But why would all this happen over a little thing like that? Fuck, she's such a twat. Why did she expect so much of me? I just happened to help her one time. Did she expect me to help her out for the rest of her life? And did she selfishly get disappointed when I didn't? But that's ridiculous. I knew what it was like to be hurt, mentally and physically, without anyone to protect you. I knew painfully well how she must have felt. And yet, I didn't die. No one was around to save me, but here I am, still alive. Even after all I've been through. Asuna's father passed away 5 years earlier in a huge accident. Then when Asuna entered middle school, her mother brought her home a new husband. And he was never a father to Asuna. At first he just treated her as a difficult daughter, unable to warm up to her new father. But as Asuna grew older, he started to see her as a woman. You can imagine what happened after that. Asuna was suddenly attacked, and this happened countless times whenever her mother wasn't around. Help me, Mama. Help me, Papa. Asuna lost count of all the times she screamed those words internally, but she was convinced that her mother would be hurt if she ever knew. So she kept all the pain inside. Then one day her mother finally started to catch on. At the time, Asuna was still afraid of hurting her mother, but simultaneously relieved that she would finally be saved. But, you wretched child, her mother looked at her as if she were a monster. There was no pity in her mother's eyes, only anger, jealousy, and disappointment. On that day, Asuna lost her mother. Even though they lived in the same house, she no longer was Asuna's mother. The only precious person she had left was her papa, who never came home. Even after experiencing all of that, I never took my life like she did. What was so different between Honoka and me? Adults hurt both of us, and we both realized that no one would save us. And yet she died and I'm still alive. Honoka was weak and Asuna was strong. From a distance it seemed like that was all there was to it. But Asuna wanted to believe that there was more of a definite explanation. A metallic click brought Asuna back to reality. She looked down at her feet and saw the silver pendant she'd put in her pocket lying there. It was her late father's locket. It must have come out when she was nervously rummaging through her pockets. Oh no, Papa's locket! She picked it up and checked the time. Her eyes widened with surprise. Several hours had passed while she'd been walking down memory lane. Chloe had probably come open her door soon. The anger she had felt from being locked in had mostly settled down now. Now even Chloe couldn't accuse her of being infected by an insane virus. Whew! Her body ached from being in the same position for so long. Maybe if she didn't act like an asshole all the time, she wouldn't get accused of having the virus. While stretching her limbs, she thought about the outside world for the first time in hours. I wonder what Chloe's doing right now. She and Jitka are the only ones out there. I hope she isn't bullying Jitka. Quite the opposite, I think. Asuna felt kind of awkward thinking something like that. Why am I worrying about Jitka? It must be because I was thinking about Honoka for so long. Honoka and Jitka are similar. They're both small and get swept along by others, as if they have no will of their own. And they both look up at me like innocent puppies. Not to mention, both girls annoyed Asuna to no end. I wonder why they annoy me so much. She knew why Jitka annoyed her now. Because she was so much like Honoka, and they're better people than you, and that makes you annoyed on the inside, because you know that you're a shithead, and they're not. But then why did Honoka annoy her? Asuna pondered to herself. Maybe it's because I feel guilty about her death. Maybe it was because she was so weak. Maybe a reason she'd never thought of suddenly came to her. Maybe it was because she reminds me of myself. She was hurt in the same way that I was, and she realized that no one would save her, just like me. Maybe I couldn't stand seeing my own pitiful self in her. For Asuna, this felt like the truth. But if that's the case, it makes even less sense. Why did she die while I'm still alive? Ugh, why am I so worked up over a dead person? She clenched her fists in frustration over unsettled thoughts. Suddenly, the hard object in her hand caught her attention. Papa's locket. She opened up her fist and stared at it. This was her treasure now. Inside it held happier times in the shape of a family photo with a young Asuna, her real father, and her kind mother. On the other side was her father's message engraved in small letters. I'm with you, Asuna. Suddenly Asuna's eyes widened. I'm with you, Asuna. This is it. In that moment, she felt like she understood everything. This is why Hanukkah died and why I'm still alive. Now I know what made us different. I always had my papa with me. I was never alone. Ever since he disappeared 5 years ago, I hoped every day that he would come back. I even dreamed of finding him again. That is why I stayed alive. That is why I'm still alive today. It's all because my papa was right by my side. Papa had been with me all along. That was the difference between Hanukkah and me. Papa, Asuna whispered to herself and squeezed the locket in her palm. This locket is proof that my papa has always been watching over me. Even though he disappeared and I can't see him anymore, he's always protected me. Wow. I have nothing to fear anymore. As long as papa is with me, I'm not afraid. Whew, that was a long one as well, and fucking hell, the puzzles. Oh, my gosh. Alright, well, in the next one... Oh, I don't know. The next one we're going to be doing Bad Omen. So that should be interesting. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking it out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.